Good afternoon, parasitology students. So for today, I will be discussing your protozoan parasites. Okay, now let us discuss first their general characteristics as well as their physical functions. Now your protozoan parasites class, most of them, or generally, they are considered as a single cell-like organisms. Okay. Also, they are motile organisms. And then in terms of their organ of locomotion, they use their organelles like cilia, as in the case of Balantidium coli, or pwede din they use their flagella, as in the case of Trichomonas or our, yung mga amoebas natin, they use their pseudopod. Okay? Now, in terms of their nutrition, how do they acquire their nutrition naman? Okay? Now, it is via absorption of liquid or through ingestion of solid particles or both processes. Pwede. So, dalawa, no? Either absorption or ingestion. Okay? Now, your protozoan parasites class, most of them, they have this what we call contractile vacuoles. Okay, now, para saan itong structure na to? Now, they use this one for maintaining osmotic pressure as well as excretion of metabolic waste products. Now, in terms of their reproduction, they are considered as asexual, meaning wala silang male or female forms. Okay, unlike in your nematodes, di ba, meron tayong male adult, meron tayong female adult. Okay, so in the case of protozoa, wala. Okay. Now, the trophozoids, they divide or rather they reproduce by binary fission. Okay. They reproduce by this process. Now, most cyst-forming amoeba, they go through nuclear division and then they divide again after excitation in a new host. Now, let us go over with the basic structures of your protozoa. Yung kanilang mga basic structures, we have this nucleus. Meron silang nucleus. They also have a cytoplasm. Cytoplasm or sa ibang libro nakalagay endoplasm. Okay? They also have an ectoplasm. This structure class, it serves as a plasma membrane, an inner membrane, or rather a semi-permeable membrane for intake and outtake of food. Okay? Again, it is a semi-permeable membrane for intake and outtake of food. Aside from this one, sa ectoplasm class, dyan mo makikita yung kanilang contractile vacuoles as well as their structure for locomotion. Now, aside from this one, they have also this what we call cytostome. Cytostome is like a mouth-like structure sa kanila. Parang yan ang pinaka-mouth nila. It is located laterally at the anterior end. Then, lastly, they have this what we call cytophage. Now, under your protozoan parasites class, okay, we will be discussing your amoeba, your subphylum Sarcodina. We also have your rhizopodia, and then we also have your flagellates, and then your sporozoan parasites. Okay, so unahin lang natin yung ating mga amoeba. Now, for the general characteristics of your amoeba, they are your subphylum Sarcodina. Okay, now for the general characteristics of your amoeba, they are said to be relatively small. Ano pa? They typically lack the contractile vacuoles. So, wala silang contractile vacuoles class. And then, as for their reproduction, in terms of their reproduction, of course, they divide or they multiply by binary fission. Lalo na yung mga cyst natin. Okay? They undergo, or rather, after excistation process, mag-undergo yan ng binary fission, forming now, ano ba yung nasa E-histo natin? Okay, example ko si E-histo natin in the case of E. histolytica. Okay, after mag-excistation yung cyst ng E-histo natin, magpuproduce yan ng 8 trophozoites. Okay? Now, meron tayong exception dito. Okay? Which is your Entamoeba gingivalis. Your Entamoeba gingivalis, they do not undergo excistation. I mean encystation. Okay? They do not undergo encystation. Okay. Okay. Now, under your Sarcodina class, there are actually 7 species of amoeba that are commonly found in human fecal specimens. Okay, so yung mga i-mention ko, ito yung mga most commonly found in human fecal specimens. Number 1, we have, of course, your Entamoeba histolytica. We have your Entamoeba dispar, your Entamoeba hartmanni, your Entamoeba coli, your Entamoeba paulecki, your Endolimax nena, and then your Iodamoeba buchliae also. Okay, so these are the most commonly species that are found in human fecal specimens. Now, all of these amoeba class, they are mainly differentiated on the basis of their structure and size. Now, of all the amoebas class, sa lahat ng amoeba na minention ko, your Entamoeba histolytica is considered as the most pathogenic to man. Okay, ang arte. Okay, it is considered as the most pathogenic to man. Okay, it is considered, or rather, it is said to be the causative agent. The causative agent of amoeba or amoebic or sa libro, Amoeba dysentery. Okay, now it was named Entamoeba histolytica due to its ability to lyse tissues, di ba? Histo meaning tissues, lytic meaning lice. Okay? So it was named in Entamoeba histolytica due to its ability to lyse tissues. Now your E-histo class, they can cause invasive intestinal and extraintestinal diseases. It is said to be the most invasive. It is said to be the most invasive of the parasite belonging to the Entamoeba family, and it is the only member that causes colitis and liver abscess. Okay? So, itong Entamoeba histolytica nating class, they are said to be highly motile. Okay? They are highly motile, pseudopod-forming, non-flagellated protozoan parasite. Now, there are actually 4 stages of development involving E. histolytica. Okay, in terms of their morphology. Okay, so meron tayong apat na stages of their development. Number 1 is their trophozoid. Their trophozoid class is it is a uninucleated cell, and it is considered as the feeding stage. The feeding stage, okay, the reproducing stage. It is highly motile with the aid of their pseudopod. By the way, the appearance of their pseudopod, it is described as finger-like pseudopod. Okay, they are highly motile with a progressive movement. And then, yung sa trophozoid nating class, their inclusion includes an RBC and a karyosome. Okay, so karyosomes and RBCs are usually present, but wala kang makikitang bacteria or any foreign material. Again, uulitin ko, yung kanilang inclusions class, RBCs are usually present, but no bacteria and foreign material are found. Okay, so malinis tignan. Unlike kasi in your other amoeba, medyo madumi tignan, just like in your Entamoeba coli. And then next, we have your pre-cystic stage. Okay, the pre-cystic stage of your E. histolytica, they are said to be colorless, round and oval or oval. Okay, and then they are considered as smaller than trophozoid, but they are said to be bigger than the cyst. Okay, so medyo mas malaki sila ng konti sa cyst. Now, the pre-cystic stage, they usually devoid of food inclusion indicating the lack or deficiency of their nutrition. Okay, so it is an indication na paubos na yung kanilang nutrition. Okay. Now, the movement of this pre-cystic stage of E. histolytica, paano mo malalaman kung pre-cystic stage yan? You can observe the movement or the motility of this one. It is said to be sluggish. Unlike in your trophozoite, kasi medyo active pa yung kanyang motility with a unidirectional motility and progressive. Okay? And then we have the cyst. The cyst of E. histolytica is actually the infective stage. It is actually the infective stage of your E. histolytica infection. Now, aside from this one, the cyst is considered as the non-feeding stage, non-reproducing, non-motile. Okay? So, ulitin natin, it is said to be the infective stage, non-feeding, non-motile, non-reproducing stage. Okay? And then, aside from this one, your cyst is already a non-motile organisms. Okay? And then, ano pa ang important kay cyst? They are very resistant to adverse conditions, just like the acidity of the stomach, desiccation in the environment, or even moist environment. Okay, so kaya niya maka-survive itong mga cyst natin. Now, they have these chromatoidal bodies. Yung kanilang chromatoidal bodies class, para malaman mong E. histolytica yan, you can base it from the appearance of their chromatoidal bodies. And it is said to be resembling like a cigar or sausage shape. Chromatoidal bodies. Now, your cyst of the E. histolytica can actually grow, or it can optimally grow at 37 degrees Celsius and a pH of 7. Okay? Making them very resistant to urine sample. But take note, class, that these cysts, they have a thermal death point which is at 50 degrees Celsius. Yan ang kanilang thermal death point. Okay?